And a pleasant good afternoon to all, as it looks like it actually picked up the wrong camera, so we're going to have to make that a little display move there if I can. But either way, I mean, we at least have one.
Right.
Camera. Yeah, it picked up my webcam. Let's try this
They're
one.
Awkward.
There we are.
Hey, there we are.
So we gotta scooch just a hair, but you know, if not, I'm gonna take up. I'm this big orange blur over on the side, but either way, welcome to Top Rope Spoilers. This is on the ring apron. I'm Steve.
Alyssa.
And Kia.
Because they're too busy kikiing to know their lines.
Oh yeah. Sorry. You know.
But either way, it's been about a month since we last joined you guys. The last time we were on here representing Mania Club, you know, sporting the orange jersey. Thank you, Ashante, for that, by the way. We were here for the OTRA Awards to end 2024, and we've already got some great things lined up for 2025. Already some good promos already in the books. A couple good matches. We went to Raw in Atlanta a couple nights ago, and there were already a couple of ones I think we could throw on the board.
They were having words.
Those were fighting words.
They weren't throwing hands yet. They were throwing words.
Exactly. But either way, you know, there's a lot of big things that are planned for us here at On the Ring Apron. This is I guess we're about to enter our 6th year of doing this.
I thought it was 7, but you know
we're
what
in season 5 right now, about to finish season 5.
Oh, wow.
Not 6 for you, but, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You'll claim the credit nonetheless. And, you know, I mean, we're just going to continue on. But also, you know, we're here representing Mania Club, which also now has a bit of a new home. Champions for Hope Foundation is now part of Mania Club. We've decided to go bigger, you know, more important than it's ever been. We've always been supporting groups like Connor's Cure and the V Foundation. Now we're supporting all kinds of different things, fighting autism, fighting Alzheimer's, fighting, of course, cancer is still, you know, very much a thing. Pediatric cancer is always going to be where we got our roots in.
Yeah.
But now at this point, the money that Mania Club brings in is going to represent so much more now than it previously did. And a huge shout out to the people that are in charge of this. Gary, Ashante, DeMario. I mean, so many people. I could stand here for an hour and mention names. There's just too many to name.
But now you have to think personally at this point with them making it a wide array of different things outside of cancer. It also supports the people in our house too. In case y'all don't know, we have, and that's across the board, me, Alyssa, and Steve have two sons that both have autism. Landon has mild and Cassius has moderate. So for us, that supports us in so many ways that I don't think, you know, unless you know about autism, unless you're a teacher or a parent or a family member or whoever who knows, you don't understand how much what y'all are doing supports not just cancer, but everything else, including autism. So thank you for that.
Alyssa, by all means, you haven't talked yet.
Hey, how you doing? Don't put me on the spot like this, you know, I'm questionable.
The point being, though, is that, you know, Mania Club we're not just content to stand pat. Ashante said it best all the way back on New Year's Day. When we started all this off, it was just a couple hundred people that had an idea and a dream. When Kia and I, when you and I first joined this club, there was only about 700 people in the club at the time. We now have almost 82,000 people as a member of Mania Club. And we were able to get in right from the get-go.
Right from the
and
one.
We have been able to benefit from meeting so many of our wrestling friends, so many of our wrestling family as part of all of this, but then also at the same time have been able to use our platform to be able to provide so much change. And then Alyssa, you've joined in the last several years, and you have seen and
this is the first group that I've ever been a part of that's really actually made like a difference. Like, most people will sit there and say they've done it. Oh, we do this. Oh, we do that. Every time I turn around and look on social media, we're doing this event. We're doing that event. We're raising money for this. We're doing things for that. So it's like this is the first group that I've ever been a part of that has actually made a difference somewhere. So
I love, honestly, with all respect, I love the inclusion. And I'm not saying just from us. I'm talking about the wrestlers get included. The families of the kids that have, like, cancer get included. You know, we get included. And best thing for us being the inclusion is when we Alyssa, you joined our show and we started taking you to the shows with us and you loved them. And Mario's like, how's Alyssa? And everybody's like, how's Alyssa? So the fact it's like they don't sit here and talk about inclusion and friends and family. They are really inclusion. Yeah. Hey girl, how you doing? Let's get a picture.
Nothing's just words.
Right.
It actually has substance behind it, and it means everything. And that's why we sit here and we do what we do. And yes, we have fun, making our picks. And don't worry, anybody who's here just for the wrestling part, we are getting to that here in a second. But it's important that we remember where we started in order to appreciate where we're going.
I just love how you could be anywhere, any state, any country, and if a member sees you, they're gonna flag you down. Hey girl, how you doing? It's not just we see you and we're gonna turn the other cheek. It's like, hey, let's go get some drinks. Not gonna name any names. Let's go have some fun. Let's go get something to eat or whatever.
You know who we're talking about.
No, you don't have to put her out like that. Don't do it.
Anyway.
And you also mentioned, it's not just the members of the club, but also the WWE NXT community also getting a part of it. And they also have an opportunity to use their platform very similar to the way we do things. Willow, Tommaso Ciampa's daughter, thank you for the Girl Scout cookies.
They were delicious.
We are just going through them like crazy, and I might be coming back for more, so might want to get another box ready. Hey, look, you think this happened on accident? This don't happen on its own. Look at this. Come on. Look at that. I'm sick.
Y'all, he gave the camera, he got the camera low enough so y'all can see that for real. Well,
that's too busy. They're going to be looking at my orange poof down here. All the eyes are over here. But either way, but thank you for giving us about 5 minutes to kind of put on things. I don't know. Are we spotting comments today? Are we doing that this time around?
I mean, we can, but
probably should also know if we're going to have to give this speech again, because in case we're not as live as we think we are.
No,
but,
we are.
Okay, excellent. But anyway, I don't know if anyone's going to comment or anything. Again, we're doing this at an odd time. Normally we do this a little later, but we do have plans this evening. So yes. we do have places to go. The ladies, as you can see, sporting the pink cleaning. Number 1 in South Metro, 4 months in a row, going on 5.
Get into it.
If you know anybody in the Atlanta area, the metro area, please have them give us a call.
You want your house cleaned by from some C&D list celebrities? That's, the 2 of them. I'm not doing it. But
C&D. Our work is A+. Please don't listen to him.
The work is A+. The celebrity level is C&D.
We getting there.
Calm down. Give us a couple.
We're on the clipboard. All right. We're at the bottom of the clipboard, but we're on
small. You got to turn your eye on this shoulder like this. It's okay. It's okay. We're there.
But let's move on to the wrestling portion. We're here to discuss the Royal Rumble, which is coming up this Saturday from Indianapolis. Unfortunately, we will not be able to attend. We were not only asked to go, but we were asked to do media as well.
Cool.
Unfortunately, schedule's not allowing for it this time around. We're trying to save up our money for Mania. Mania's in Vegas. It's expensive this year, so it's kind of hitting all of us. So we'll be watching this one from the house. I've had a couple folks that have asked, about maybe doing a watch-along, putting the camera up there and going live on Facebook and doing a watch-along and see what they think. I don't know if anybody would actually do it or not.
Are they sure they can handle us? We get a little intense.
We do.
Unless we don't even have Landon in here. That's who gets intense. And don't let.
I'm about to say, it's about to get a little intense.
It's about to get real intense.
And also, to make sure we have full disclaimer, sometimes alcohol's involved.
Yeah.
So full disclaimer out here, so that way we didn't say we didn't mention it, anything else. But either way, you see,
looking like that's y'all with alcohol. Kim, my hubby.
Thank you. Please speak. Put it in the air.
It's okay. I'm not gonna deny it.
Okay, all right. Either way, you see the scoreboard directly below us. The OTRA's still holding on to that 1-point edge over the 3 of us. I've been leading most of the way and still the leader between the 3 of us. Alyssa, the 2-time defending champion at the moment. So she's trying to hold on to get back, but she's got a little work to do.
This is normally where I start taking over, though, so I'm not really worried about it.
And as you've noticed, I've added something new to our thing all the way down at the very bottom. You can see the link to our YouTube community page. I always talk about it, but you know what? Let's go find it so that way we can do it. I love how both of you looked at the ground in our
It did, really?
I said, ooh,
shiny.
At the bottom.
Wow. You should have said screen for us to clarify. Clarification, please.
Crazy.
But either way, only 4 matches on the card. So, ladies, you may want to grip onto something, 10 toes on the ground, because we're gonna move just a little.
Oh my God, the fact that my face just froze like that. I do not play Facebook. Stop it. Did you just see my face?
But let's move to the first match on the card here. Let me start my little timer over here so that way I can keep us at least somewhat on time here. But we have 2 championship matches as well as the 2 Rumble matches. The Rumble matches take about an hour plus each, so this is usually not a very large card, so we should move through this pretty quick.
Okay.
But the first one, we mentioned Tommaso Ciampa earlier, and again, thank you so much for the cookies, Willow. But he will actually we'll be having a match at Royal Rumble as he and Johnny Gargano, the current WWE Tag Team Champions over on the Blue brand, will be defending the championships as DIY against former champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, the team of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Now, we've seen the Motor City Machine Guns come in and have completely taken the tag team division on SmackDown by storm, winning the championship in just their 3rd match in WWE. However, they inadvertently kind of jumped the line of DIY that was the #1 contenders at the time, but the impromptu match that Motor City Machine Guns was able to go their way into ultimately gets them the title. DIY turns heel, wins back the titles. Motor City Machine Guns, meanwhile, has been basically week by week on SmackDown, has been taking out a new team every week, taking out the Garzas, taking out Pretty Deadly, just moving through the tag team division to ultimately work their way back to DIY for the tag titles. And this time they want to make sure there's no controversy and there's no question, so this one is a 2 out of 3 falls match. So somebody's got to beat the other team twice in order to do it. Good friends, now bitter enemies. But, ladies, your analysis on where you feel on this one.
So, let me go ahead. I'm going to say the same thing I always say. I'm kind of sad they turned heel because I would rock out to their theme in my car. That'd be my favorite theme. No offense to anybody else. I would rock out so hard. But, with all respect, you have to think, again, and it's true, we've seen Johnny Gargano and Ciampa when they were NXT and they were working together. They had good chemistry, but also outside, let's pull it even outside. They're friends. They're really good friends. So to have that chemistry outside the ring and inside the ring, and then to literally be at each other's necks, and then separate and everything that was, and then move up to the main roster, and they come back together. For me to see that evolution from NXT straight to the main roster, from Raw and SmackDown, it's a good thing. I was excited when they were back together. I just hate the fact now they're heel, but I think they work best in heel persona, honestly. And it's, for me, these are one of my favorite tag teams outside of the Usos and A-Town Down Under. This is my other tag team. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Let me keep 100. If I had to pick 3, those are my 3 top 3s.
All I'm gonna say is, especially with the way they won the tag team titles, Johnny, when does the protective cup go back on the dining room table with Candace and and little one over there? Although I guess he's not so little anymore. Baby Johnny, baby Candace getting big now.
Aww.
Alyssa, you're up.
All right. Let's look. We all know Alyssa doesn't like pyro.
So the Motor City Machine Guns have not been...
Motor City Machine Guns. I feel like every time I turn around, y'all, they over there, raise your fist, do. And I'm like, hold on, wait, let me
get my stuff in my ears.
You're right. Let me get my things in my ears, please. But, as far as I've seen, and I know I haven't seen them as much, but I know Steven talked a lot about, how they've traveled all around the world and done things separately. They've come together. So they are a very experienced tag team on that front. When it comes to Johnny and Tommaso Ciampa, I've seen them, did I see them in the beginning when I started watching?
They were actually fighting each other.
I remember, I was about to say, weren't they fighting?
But there's a wooden protective cup. I just talked about
Okay,
this.
calm down. Not too much. Don't be doing the most.
Thank you. In all seriousness.
I have to poke. It's my job. It's my part of the job.
In all seriousness, though, they went from being little rivals and I know there was one time when Tommaso was like, I'm never going to the main roster. I remember things like that. And now here they are taking over the main roster in the tag team division, individually doing their own thing. So I feel like this is this is one of those things where if they play their cards right, they'll end up being like the Motor City Machine Guns and kind of grow together and, do everything together and kind of get that chemistry.
Without the pyro.
Yeah, let's work on that.
It's also an interesting point when you look at the fact that, because you talk about, you know, all of them having go through the wars together, both as a team as well as individually
and against each other.
You look at the 4 of them, and I'm just going to hit you with a little spoiler here. Ciampa's the youngest out of the 4.
Really?
And it's actually not close. Ciampa is actually the youngest. Go ahead, look it up. But, you know, it's he's actually the youngest out of the 4. And there was a big time when he was, you know, gray beard and everything else, kind of similar to what I'm sporting. Let me scoot in here. Look at this, okay? Got kids and a couple of their names all over it, okay? But there it is, right there.
If you have any tips or tricks, Ciampa, for him to soften up his beard, please let us know.
Please, I need all the help I can get, all right? Because I cannot soften this thing to save my life right now. It is just rigid. You can hear the crackling.
Go a little closer so they can hear it.
Aluminum foil on the chin.
But either way, again, the link is at the bottom, so if you're watching this either now or later on after it gets posted, take the time to go to our community page, youtube.com/on-the-ring-apron. Then click on the community page. You can place your votes in there. It goes live as soon as the bell officially rings as to who's going to win. OTRA's with the 1-point lead. I'm up next because I'm in second place. I am going to say this will be a 3-fall match. I do think each one will score one over the other. I don't see a 2-0 win. Maybe DIY intentionally getting disqualified on the first one just so they can gain an upper hand, or maybe then fight 2-on-1 if they take someone out or something. But I do see DIY retaining. I do think that they've done what they needed to do to get the very quick buildup of Motor City Machine Guns. But I think there's a longer storyline here, especially as we start heading into Mania season, where you never know what's going to happen. And also, don't expect this will be the only match we see the 4 of these gentlemen, as I will likely see them all in the Rumble a little bit later. But for this particular match, 2 falls to 1, I'm going DIY. Alyssa?
I also like DIY to retain.
Is it because of the pyro or lack of pyro?
Yeah, it absolutely has everything to do with the pyro. I need my champions not to have pyro, okay? Because Alyssa doesn't like pyro.
That's lies. Look at what you're wearing.
Look at what you're wearing.
Hey, that's different. That's different.
She said that's
this pyro don't even exist in my head. When I see that man coming out, that's all I see. I see that man. That's it.
Oh, gracious.
That's that man. Yeah.
So,
get into it.
DIY. Do you 2-0 or 2-1?
2-1.
2-1.
I think it'll go 3. I don't think they'll just squash them. You can't squash experience like that.
All right.
I mean,
you said what you said. It's okay. It's fine. Just we
put an adult disclaimer earlier. We're all right.
Lord.
Kia, what you got?
Okay, so for me, if DIY is anything like they were when they were going against each other, and now that they're working with each other, that's the DIY I want to see. I want to see crutches. I want to see ladders. I want to see tables. I want to see chairs. I want to see everything from DIY. Because in my mind, when y'all are heel, y'all are just heel. Y'all are super heels. Y'all take it to the other side. They up here. They take it far and away. I want to see that DIY.
Oh, I think we're allowed to use that now. Judgment Day changed their theme. So I think we're allowed to use that now.
Oh, okay, great.
Great.
So,
Alter Day, I mean, come on, you guys gotta have somebody better to sue than us. We ain't got the money you think we do.
My thing is, my vote is going to be for one of my favorite tag teams. No offense to the other guys. DIY all the way. And I think it's gonna be they're gonna get their licks, but I feel like DIY at the very end of it is gonna walk away. They're gonna retain those titles because again, at the end of the day, those titles belong to them.
You're going 2-1 as well.
I'm going 2-1.
Okay.
Again, so, I want to see the other team get roughed up to where they can't compete. Man, that's as far as I'm taking it.
She want to take it to the next level.
I should have made it. I should have made the vote a little different on.
If I'm going to take it to the next level, I'm going to take it up there with them. I'm going to be sitting up there with them. Yeah, we go. See, y'all got squashed. Boom.
Excellent.
Crazy.
All right. Well, 1 down, and there are a number of different ways. Not sure if they're going to go with the ladder match between Cody and Kevin for the main event, or if they'll go with the men's Rumble. So with that being the case, we're kind of, again, as anybody who's watched our show before knows, we go with what we think is going to be the order of the card. Sometimes we get it. Sometimes we couldn't miss it worse. Sometimes the one we say is going to be the main event goes first. I think we said Seth. I think a Royal Rumble a few years ago, we said, Seth and Roman will definitely main event, and they came out first.
I said, all this pyro from jump. Okay.
Okay, at least we're getting it out of the way now. But we are going to go ahead and cover one of the 2 Rumbles here. So shifting our screen here, and we're going to shift over to the women's Royal Rumble match.
I need a picture.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't have one. This is what WWE.com provided for us, so that's what we have to use. There are a handful of names that have already declared. We've seen Bianca Belair, we've seen Naomi, we've seen Charlotte, we've seen Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, just to name a few. There are a whole bunch of other names. And as always with the Rumble matches, no doubt a few surprises also coming in as well. There's really no strategy per se. So we are kind of making this one a little bit interesting in terms of things. So I'm going to give everybody a chance while I get everything else set up. But we are going to have a difference in how we're going to pick things, as well as for the OTRAs as well. And also, this is an opportunity to be able to pick up some extra points, because this is actually, if you play your cards right, could be up to a 10-point pick here. Because we're not only going to select a person to win it, but we're also going to allow our Alexa back there to give us a random number, and that's what we end up with each of us getting a slot of 3 people, or of 10 people. So, ladies, y'all's analysis first before we get into who we're going to take.
Okay, so here's my thing. We know Jade Cargill has been out of commission for a little bit because she had an attacker. We all have our claims to who we think it is, but we're not really sure. Some people say Naomi, some people say Bianca. We aren't going to get into that. I just feel, in my opinion,
I've recently said the Metagirls.
And
if you want to hear more, I'll be happy to explain that one. But Metagirls.
My thing with this is she's been out of commission, and she's come from AEW. She's been on the main roster. She's picked up a lot over here from Bianca and then Naomi, and then just everything that she's seen, and she asked questions she's learned. I feel like she's going to come back. And she's going to, in my opinion, she's going to come back with a vengeance. She's going to be very vengeful, we've heard her speak on Twitter X, whatever that app is over there, and we believe that if she comes back, we believe she's going to take all that anger and hostility or vengeance or whatever she comes back with, she's going to make it look good, because, the storm has arrived and everything, and she's going to start taking people out left and right, because that girl's built. She's strong, okay? And she's going to be like, oop, over. But also for me, I'm kind of hoping to see, I know we're going to have our main people, be there, but I want to see some surprise entrants. We've heard, talks or whispers or rumors about AJ Lee coming back. That'd be great. I'm kind of hoping to see Becky come back. I know all these people I'm hoping to see, but let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I know who I want to pick compared to who I want to win. So it's going to have to kind of be one and the same when I get to that point.
We'll get to that in just a minute. Alyssa?
I was going to say, this year has been one of the most difficult years for me to pick a Rumble person. Really
for both Rumbles.
I was about to say, both sides are stacked for no reason. Y'all had no business messing me up like this. This is how I'm supposed to, make back up and get 3 so I can get that belt. But y'all want to play games this year. So, come on. I mean, of course, you have to sit there and think, okay, you have your Charlotte, you have your Bailey, you have your Bianca. Those are no-brainers. You're like, okay, if they're in there. They're in there. How can I ignore your talent? Come on. And then you have people like Liv and Io who have been up to the top through the year, but they've also lost their titles since. So, what would they do bringing them back into the picture? You also have to remember your people who are, in the background, but, are ready to take that next step. Your Shaynas, your Zoes, your... Yes, insert name, and yes, that is correct.
And let's not forget NXT women, too.
I was about to say, exactly.
They've got the most powerful women's division
I was about to say,
right now.
Roxanne, because she just lost her title. She about to come up. Would they put the Royal Rumble...
Easy for you to say.
Royal Rumble win on her to bring her up and have her first match.
It definitely would add some intrigue to it.
I was about to say, this whole year worth slot of people, it's you honestly have at least 5 or 6 people that you can think off the top of dome where you're they could win and it would make sense. And I wouldn't
honestly, but let's not forget, Kalani at this point. She lost her title a while back. And she's been on a tear for being the biggest deal.
Mario.
What's up?
Hey, how do we know that she won't come in? She was the first to actually take what title was that? Please, because I got bad memory.
No,
exactly. So what's putting her on the thing for not coming in and winning Royal Rumble? Shit, crap about you.
That's what you get.
It's not. We make this look easy, but it's not easy.
But what happens from her taking the title when you got Stephanie Walker and then you've got all these people, Sol Ruka, you've got Fallon, who if
maybe that's why Zarya hasn't won a title.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm thinking.
What are we?
So we've got a lot. This division from like NXT to like the main roster, it's stacked.
And you never know who you're gonna see because WWE likes to flirt with the Forbidden Door.
Right, they really do.
All right, well, it's going to be a little lengthy to go ahead and get through all of the picks, so you're going to have to bear with us. We're going to do this for each of the Rumbles as well. So the first thing is that each one of us is going to have an opportunity when it is our turn to be able to select what, not only their winner, but also which of the slots you want. So since it's we're going to go backwards on this one. So because Kia, you're currently in last, you'll get first option, then Alyssa will go next, and I get whatever's left. So you get to choose a slot between 1 and 10, or you can have between 1 and 10, 11 and 20, or 21 through 30.
So because I'm last place, I'm gonna take 21 through 30.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, again, it gives you the best odds. Although historically, anybody who looks at Rumble statistics, because I do,
he's a stat guy.
The number really doesn't mean too much. The 11 through 20 slot has been the one that has had a slightly lesser, but it's only by a couple of percent. Really, you've had even just about across the board historically. So, again, there's no advantage, but you want 21 through 30?
Yep.
Okay, so what that means is
now,
that...
do I get that for both Rumbles?
I mean, we can do it once, or we can do it again for the second one.
You know what? Go ahead.
Okay. So you're going to get 21 through 30.
Mm-hmm.
If the person that wins the Rumble falls between 21 and 30, you'll get 3 points. Same thing for the OTRAs. If you're picking on the community page, select which side you want, and whichever side gets the highest vote, which I can't imagine is not going to be between 21 and 30, they'll also get 3 points. However, we're also going to give each person a number, and if that number also is the winner of the Rumble in that group, then at that stage, that 3 points becomes 5 points instead.
Okay.
So you get an opportunity to win 5 for having the random number, plus another 5 for picking your actual winner. So, let's go ahead and get Kia's officially on there. Ziggy, Volume 10. Ziggy, select a random number between 21 and 30.
Here's a number between 21 and 30. It's 29.
She gets 29, so you actually got yourself a very favorable number for your 5-point pick. So, and then for your selection, it doesn't matter, where they fall in the Rumble. Who are you picking to win it?
Oh. Now if we're doing the women's, I want to say I want to pick the mysterious person, but we don't know who the mysterious person is.
That's the joy, isn't it?
So, I'm just gonna go with the mysterious person because I don't know who I want my pick to be. That's the thing.
Well, you have to pick a name. You have to pick a person.
We'll say I already said Jade. We'll say just Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Yes.
Alrighty. Alyssa, what about you? Do you want 1 through 10 or do you want 11 through 20?
I'll do 11 through 20.
11 through 20. All right. Ziggy, pick a random number between 11 and 20.
Here's a number between 11 and 20. It's 15.
So you get number 15 right in the dead center, so, gonna...
I don't like my odds. God.
All right,
number
so
15, let's go.
15.
Let's go.
All right, and who are you picking for your selection?
This light is so bright, just...
Oh no, we're trying to cash is. I'm sorry for putting my son out there like that, but...
You ain't at the deal, baby.
I sure did.
I'm
his built-in bully.
We're gonna do... This Vegas. Who's gonna bring...
You have to think of your 2 champions right now being Rhea... Well, 3 champions, I guess. You have Rhea Ripley, you have Charlotte, and you have Julia. Not Charlotte, Tiffany Stratton.
I'm going Charlotte. There we go.
Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm going to go Charlotte.
Just throw it in her head.
I was between her and 2 other people.
Who are 2
We're
other
gonna go
people?
Charlotte. Mind your business.
I'm nosy. I'm sorry.
Ask me off camera. God.
Okay, I'm fine. I'll ask you off
Because if I say it on camera and then they win, I'm gonna be mad.
All right, so officially you're going Charlotte in her first match back.
I'm excited to see the new Charlotte come back, though.
I'd say it's definitely going to be interesting to see with them choosing to broadcast it versus it being a surprise.
Yeah, I'm excited about Jade coming back, too.
So, I mean, there's definitely some thanking there. And I will be blunt, you took my pick, because that was who I was going to take. I was going to take Charlotte. However, I did have a couple of other people that I was doing. So first, let me get my number. I've got between 1 and 10. So, Ziggy, select a random number between 1 and 10.
Here's a number between 1 and 10. It's 3.
Ouch!
Hey, now.
Although last year's winner was Bailey from 3.
Exactly.
Bianca Belair, I believe, won from 3 as well. So that's not a bad number. I'll take that. I'm not liking my odds, but it's happened more than once before, especially in the women's.
We're gonna see our person come out. We're gonna be like,
Why y'all at that spot? Why y'all ain't at the spot we asked you to be at?
Well, good lord.
Good
but either way, with her taking Charlotte, I do want to take someone else. And I think there is one name that is sitting in the Rumble that, and I'm going to do something I haven't done. I'm not going to pick Naomi.
What?
Shocking. I know. I'm not. Get your hands off me. Your hands are hot, actually.
Oh my God, who is he and what did he do with Steve?
I just don't think the storyline is right for her or Bianca Belair to ultimately be the Rumble winner this year, despite Bianca being a winner. I'm not saying they won't do well. I don't even know if Jade is necessarily going to make her return here, so that'll be where it'll be interesting to see. So
don't put that in the air for my person.
Hey, well, I'd put Charlotte in the air in her head. But I'm actually going to go with the person who's finished second each of the last 2 years. I'm going with Liv Morgan.
Okay.
She has finished second to last I guess was the last one eliminated in each of the last 2 Rumbles. So it makes sense for her to finally get her due. And then you have a little bit of a joy. You would think she'd go for Rhea. But also she's had a little strife with Tiffany, because Tiffany teased for a while about cashing in on her leading up to Crown Jewel as well as a number of other events. So maybe she chooses to take a different route and perhaps she goes after it. Or maybe she goes back to NXT and wins the one title she hasn't won, and that's the NXT Women's Championship, and maybe she challenges Julia.
Okay, the funny thing with that is she's going to actually, how she's always into getting help from the outside? Mm-hmm. Now she's going to actually physically, this will be the perfect match for her, honestly, because she's going to be able to have that help, her bodyguard.
Exactly. Raquel will be somewhere in that match as well, but also you run the risk with everybody being for themselves, when does she turn on you? Because Raquel would love that title shot as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan in 3. You've got Charlotte in 15, and you've got
Jade
Cargill in 29. So, and the OTRAs, unfortunately, we won't know your number until we see what the end result is. So I will put the number online as soon as the match officially starts, so that way we can know what y'all's number is going to be. So we'll put a small video up or something. But let's move into the third match here, and that is our other championship match. As we're going to break away from the Rumbles here for just a little bit. But this is for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And depending upon if you're old school or new school, determines which of the belts is the correct one. As we will see for the first time ever in the Royal Rumble, a ladder match for the WWE Championship, as it will be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defending against the prize fighter Kevin Owens.
They have been some good promos.
They really have. That's the thing.
Will you shut up? I've never seen Cody raise his voice like that before myself.
I feel like honestly, that was coming from deep down. That was
right.
That really did, honestly.
Okay.
And you know about that. I feel like with all respects, I'm excited for this match. I feel like everybody knows my pick is gonna head, but who knows? Kevin, I don't care if Kevin's heel. I don't care if that man's face. His on the mic, he's right up there in my opinion with like The Rock and John Cena and The Miz and and now Roman. We can put Roman in this conversation too, and it's just like, ooh, he is kind of spitting facts. He's spitting truths, and how do we not say, oh, he's telling the truth or whatever?
That's been the biggest thing, is that Kevin, from his point of view, and there are a lot of people in the WWE universe that agree, Kevin has been speaking the truth.
He has. If you listen to what he's saying, I've been there to help you from day one to get the title that you have, but now you're going back and you're flipping scripts. So we gonna fight. But then, Cody said, I'm tired of listening to you, I'm tired of hearing you. Shut up. Man, that came from the ancestors, and I'm not gonna lie to you. It is what it's gonna be, and the fact that you feel that strongly, about this situation. It should tell you how much these two really want it. And I don't care if you're new school, old school. I don't care for this title or that title. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. They're both hanging above the ladder in the air. So you're gonna have to figure out who gets both titles, who gets what title. And honestly, with all respects, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Right. Child, like I said, the last little bit has been giving us gold on the mic.
Right.
Like, everybody has been funny,
Mm-hmm.
spitting facts, and coming for your neck. Like, every single person. Like, I have not heard a bad promo
This year.
in a minute.
The mic skills have improved so much. I mean, you go back to the day you had Austin, you had The Rock, you had maybe one or two other people, but then that was kind of the Cena absolutely during his era. But now there is a line that goes down a ways, and you can go from the upper echelon. Even Roman Reigns, who was not great on the mic when he first got here, now is one of the masters on the pipe.
I was about to say.
And of course, you can't throw out a person like CM Punk or somebody like that, but Cody and Kevin have absolutely been bringing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you have just seen them go from friends to I'm going to help you to I'm helping you to I've helped you to now what are you doing?
Frenemies.
Whoa, what's going on? Hold on, don't be fake. Oh snap, you over here with the enemy for real? That's what we doing now?
Right.
And now,
we only fought this guy for 4 years
Literally,
trying to take us off him, and now you're teaming with him.
He was like,
4 months later.
You used my fist to come over here and get this title off this man, and now you want to turn around and help him? He said, "That's fine. I'll give you these fists." And now they're not friends.
My thing with that, and he even took out Randy Orton in the process, which is kind of, we hadn't seen him, so
Crazy.
it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Maybe a Rumble surprise.
Why aren't you saying the same thing to your best friend over here, Sami Zayn, who also, when they were doing, like, it was CM Punk, Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy, why aren't you talking facts to him? Why aren't you talking facts to him? You coming for Cody's throat, but you need to be going for your best friend's throat, too, and I'm not trying to put it in the air, but yes, I am. Don't be coming for my man like that. I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I see you standing there, but that's not the point.
Mm-hmm. And again, you sit here and you look at the story, and it really depends on which side do you sit on, because a lot of the people that were very much strongly at the beginning, going back to WrestleMania last year, Cody's got to finish the story by any means necessary, and so many people came out to finally bring an end to the run of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Sorry to hash up some old scars here, and there she goes. She'll be back up in about 30 seconds. We'll see her foot just come up in a second. Dairy Queen closes in 10 minutes.
We're going to Dairy Queen?
Well, we're going to get popcorn. We have a movie tonight.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, but then Kevin's sitting over here, and you hit the nail on the head, spitting facts. It's like, we fought this war. You know how many times I fought Roman Reigns? You know how many times I should have beaten him? Mm-hmm. We went to the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago, and Kevin had him beat.
Right.
And then the Bloodline got involved, which was Roman's, kind of motif at that stage. And you look at the way things ended up, Kevin's, from his point of view, is saying, like, I didn't do all of this to get the title off of him just to watch you all of a sudden, let's go forgive everybody. Let's go forgive Seth. Let's go forgive Roman. Let's go forgive Jay. Let's go, I'm not doing any of this. They're bad people, and I want to have it, and if you won't defend the title, I will. And not only that, a little bit of a low blow to holding the Winged Eagle Championship that, his father, historically was never able to win. They honored him by letting him wear it to Saturday night's main event, only for Kevin to walk off with it, and has proclaimed himself to be the champion because Cody did technically use a chair. The referee just didn't see it. Oh. So ultimately, Kevin feels he is the rightful WWE champion, and it's going to finally get decided here at the Royal Rumble to finally figure out not only who is, the rightful WWE champion, but who is also going to be main eventing one of the two, if not both, potentially both nights of WrestleMania. The one meme I want to bring up before we go any further is the meme they had of Kevin Owens before when they went to Saturday night's main event, and he was kissing the belt, the Winged Eagle Championship, before it's getting hung up. And Shawn Michaels is just sitting there with this look like, just a look of disgust. And then below it, they put a picture of Shawn Michaels from back in like the mid-'90s when he was posing with it, with nothing on except the belt over his crotch, and realizing that now he's kissing that belt 20 some odd years later. So But either way, it is what it is. Because Alyssa's going to get to go first for the Women's Rumble match, this one will spin back to me to go first. Well, yes, but you...
Are you saying for the men's?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you'd rather have first choice there because I'm the person that's leading, so I've got to go last on both. I am going to take Cody to retain. I do say that with a lot of hurt feelings on that because, in my viewpoint, I've been one of the people that has felt along the lines of Kevin has been the one telling the truth. You know, and he hasn't liked the way that Cody has gone about things, and I think Cody has done it more to protect himself than necessarily to protect the prestige of the championship. However, I think the writing's very much on the wall, and I think Kevin has done an absolutely magnificent job of portraying it, and unless it's going to lead to something at Elimination Chamber where Cody would get it back, I do think Cody retains here. The only thing that comes into play, potentially, is CM Punk's promo from Raw this last week saying when you get to about 300 days, it starts wearing on you, and you're starting to see the cracks and the chinks in Cody's armor. Kevin's very good at being able to exploit those things, and in a ladder match, especially when you know that there are some people, Seth and Sammy especially, who right now aren't real thrilled with Sammy's latest actions, you wonder if maybe that makes the difference. But I'm still going to go with Kevin. Or Cody, excuse me. Now I can't talk.
It's time for you to stop talking.
It's fine.
All
We
right.
all get there.
All right. Alyssa?
And this one I think is pretty straightforward. I like Cody to retain as well. I mean, I don't see Cody losing the championship over a ladder. I feel like he's going to have to get beat, you know? Like, somebody going to have to pin that man. So
But maybe that's the way to protect him. Unless, now all I'm going to say is please don't run the swerve. Please don't do it, WWE. Hunter, I'm sure you're going to peek into this because you watch everything or have somebody watching everything. Do not have Kevin win the title and then Cody wins it for the third straight year.
I can't handle
We don't need a three-peat.
I'm sorry.
We need someone different winning the men's this year. Just saying. Because, of course, the winner of this match will not be in the Rumble, so... Kia?
Okay, so my thing before I give you my pick and whatnot, let's not forget the final boss, the man at the top. I feel like it's still playing an important role to the scripts and the plots and everything. I feel like, and I love Cody, and I'm saying this with all the love, I feel like he's like puppet master to what's going to happen with these storylines and the bloodline and the fact of helping Roman and everything else. So, with all respect to Kevin, and I know Kevin's been telling the truth, and he's been fire on the mic, this at the third, there's going to be some strings pulled. There's no way. And it's not that saying that Cody can't do it by himself, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's strings being pulled in the back with this title, with Cody and The Rock, and, you know, whispering in your ear, and we know that wasn't no love words or anything, so it's going to be what it's going to be. Exactly. So I'm pulling for Cody, but that's my way of thinking about it.
It wouldn't be the first time if that ends up going the other way. It wouldn't be the first time that Kevin's been picked by upper management to be the world champion. That was how he won the Universal title in the first place, was Triple H turned on Seth Rollins.
That's true.
And made Kevin Owens champion. If you go back about, I think it'd be 8 years ago this year.
But now it's flipped the script. It's Cody and it's The Rock, and it's Puppet Master and the Puppet. And Cody, with all respects, is one fine puppet, but it's going to be what it's going to be.
No comment.
No comments intended.
There you go. So either way, let's move on to our main event segment here, and that is the men's Royal Rumble match. Again, a very small card. Not much to really talk about, in terms of quantity on this one. This one's got to be more of a quality show, but very similar to the women's Rumble earlier. We have. Are you done? No, she's not done.
Why do you call me out like that? Don't do that.
Technically, you called yourself out.
No, I'm laughing, but what? Keep going, please.
Either way, you go into your office.
Sure had to.
There you go.
Had to have a board meeting. Crazy.
This is everyday conversation. This isn't even for the camera. This is how they act every day.
Sorry, my nose.
Don't put us out there like that.
Either way, but like the women's Rumble though, the men's Rumble is just as stacked, if maybe not more stacked than the women's.
Right.
We talked about it off air, me and Alyssa,
Last night,
and talked about how there is solidly 12 to 15 people that are going to be in the men's Rumble that you could write a story right now to lead into WrestleMania with the two champions you currently have. We're going with Gunther and assuming it's going to be Cody. You know, there are some stories if Kevin wins as well. It would be a perfect win for Sami Zayn at that stage or somebody like that, or for Cody to three-peat or whatever. But ultimately, you look at the men's Rumble, and I mean, it is completely stacked. I mean, just look at the photo over here to our side over here. I mean, you see Kevin Owens if he doesn't retain. You've got Drew McIntyre. You've got Solo Sikoa. You've got Jacob Fatu. You've got Dominic Mysterio, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Roman Reigns, John Cena. You know, and that's just a few of them. That's not even that's 10 members of the field. You know, and obviously the order you come out in is going to definitely play a role, but this is really the first time where, in a long time, where you look at it and you say, is there any chance that it's maybe, you know, usually there's always 2 or 3 people where you're like, you really feel like that's going to be the person who's going to get it. This year, I've got no clue they could go any direction, and that's what's great about this year's field.
Child, all I know is I feel like I've had my picks. And then I went to Raw, and then just threw it off.
Oh, me too.
So many good promos that night. My God.
The promos were outstanding.
CM Punk said, yeah, all your friends stab you in the back. That mug said, in the same breath, he said,
Runt.
I'll stab you in the front. I said, hold on, wait a minute. Then you had Paul. I almost said the Paul.
No, man. No.
They had Paul come out and spit that fire for Roman. Like, because you know, out of all the time that I've watched, you guys, out of all the time that I have watched, if Paul says this is not a spoiler, it's a prediction, or not a prediction, it's a spoiler,
he's usually right.
You know how Melo be saying he don't miss?
Mm-hmm.
Paul don't miss either. That's the whole thing. So, there were a lot of good promos out there, and it's just like, you legitimately can see everybody, like, especially the first few people who declared, everybody is like, okay, this is exactly how you get there. The storyline already makes sense itself. You're not having to pull something out of your backside to make it work. So it's like, but then you could also see they have time to write a storyline for whoever wins. So it's like, what are they going to do? Also, just for the record, so I'm going to get this out of the way. Y'all, I have never seen my man do a Royal Rumble. Like,
that's true.
Every
Since,
time.
Alyssa joined us, he's been champion.
So, I don't know how I'm going to act. I don't think y'all want to see me in this watch through. Because I'm like,
I can tell you what she's going to want to see. She is going to want to see basically the same thing they did with Brock Lesnar at the 2020 one, where he comes out at number 1 and basically just takes out the first half of the field by himself.
Jesus, seriously?
Yeah, Brock came out at number 1 and
I like that.
basically just continued just taking folks out by himself all the way up until... The heel he got that night was insane. Because everybody was like, who's going to be the one to take him out? And you had people like Keith Lee, and you had people like... that was Drew McIntyre's year. Drew was ultimately the one that eliminated him, and then ironically he beat Brock for the title later on. That was the pandemic year. Kia, your thoughts before we get to our picks?
Oh my God, why? So you know, for me, I've seen Rumble, and this is where I shine. I feel like every time we do a Royal Rumble, I feel like I pick it.
She gets it every year,
and so I feel like put it in the air. I'm excited to see who shows up, because you know that we feel like we know who's going to be in it. Then we sit here and we say, okay, this person's gone, but this person's going to be back. Cena said he's going to go into it. CM Punk. You know, you've had plenty of people. You could tell Austin Theory's probably going to be in it, because he and I think Grayson already said they were going to be in it.
Do you feel that soon to be NXT champion Austin Theory?
My man, you know it is.
This year I came on here and said like 3 hard hands.
Yeah, and don't
They're
forget,
all.
And what about it?
And don't forget Grayson Waller. And
what about it? And what about it?
Well, with all respects, who haven't we not seen? Who's been? We know we're not going to see JD, and may he have a speedy recovery, because we know what he's going through. You know who we haven't seen?
Who have we not seen?
The Viper.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's a 2-time winner himself. You know, it's not like they won't shock you by having Orton win it. He absolutely do it, because there's been a lot of talks that if Cena's going to have a shot at 17 later this year, Orton's got to get to 16 first. The question is, can you find 2 title reigns before that? But one happening at Mania, him having a 3rd match with Gunther, You know, because they've had 2 classics already. What about a third one at Mania?
But also,
him and Cody as well.
We're sitting here talking about the people that are not going to be in it, but like we have comebacks, we have people from NXT. How do we know? Trick is on a tear too. He's down there in NXT. He's mad as hell right now. So if he comes up and he comes to this Rumble and then Melo's in it, in the back of his mind, they have their beef. I feel like Trick could come up to the main roster. You could probably have Stacks. There's a lot of good talent down there in NXT that I could just see up there. And then Randy Orton come back.
Forgive me, with all due respect, forgive me if I don't put my money on Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Okay, first of all, don't talk about
Not this year.
Don't talk about him like that. Don't do it. I will fight you on this camera. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I just feel like I feel like this Rumble is going to be ridiculously crazy. All this talent on men's side, women's side, people who we know is gonna be in it, people who we're gonna be surprised to hear their music and the intro. I'm excited.
Also, there's always a handful of surprises. People that you weren't expecting to be there. And also they've been showing a lot of celebrities over the last little bit. There's usually always one when does Bad Bunny show up? When does Quavo come out?
No, for real.
And decide that he's gonna, decide he's jumping in the ring. They already talked during the commercial. Kai Cenat, as coming out in Atlanta, and and saying he's gonna be at the Rumble. Wonder if maybe he jumps in. Not saying he's gonna win it, but but what about the promo? And then of course speaking of promos and things like that, you can't discount Logan Paul either.
No, because that man came out there and got a big reaction and just threw them out there. I'm sorry.
And again, you see this, you hear that, you hear all that booing?
His Tribal Chief.
You hear that booing? That's a reaction.
He's been watching his Tribal Chief. I know y'all seen him up there trying to play with his tongue. You don't do it right. It's okay. We'll let it slide this time.
Just keep practicing. Keep practicing. You're good at everything else. Just keep practicing.
But also, when you look at the WrestleMania being in Las Vegas, especially with his brother Paul, recently Jake having his match with with Tyson a little while ago. Also, you look at this and you say, okay, Logan Paul will put rears in seats that aren't necessarily wrestling fans, but could potentially become that next set. You want your celebrity list to be through the roof. Maybe you shock everybody by putting it on Logan Paul. I don't know, and you set him up with Cody Rhodes or you set him up with Gunther. So we'll have to see how this ends up playing out. But let's officially get to the picks. Alyssa, we did say you'd go first on this one. So first you need to pick your zone.
Okay.
Let's see. I want, for this one, I want 21 through 30.
21 through 30. That's, again, not a surprise. You want the ones at the end.
I want 21 through 30.
All right. Ziggy.
Yeah.
Select a random number between 21 and 30.
Here's a number between 21 and 30. It's 29.
So 29 there for you as well. So she gets 20. So Kia, you get 29 in the women's rumble. You get 29
I'm looking at the
in
camera
the
like
men's.
Ziggy.
It's like it's Roger, isn't it?
It's Roger.
So 29.
Anyway.
And then who's your selection for the rumble match? Does the shirt give it away?
I don't think so.
It's one of those because yes, he's going to be likely the favorite, winning it along with John Cena, but there are so many other storylines, and Roman can build a story without necessarily needing to have the title, but also
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
They want money.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to bring in some money. That man makes.
So sometimes the easiest pick is the right one.
That man makes the money. That man brings in the money. That man looks like money. I don't want to hear it. I heard A-Town Down Under all this time.
Undone!
And Cody, I don't want to hear it.
So either way.
Take that side.
No, for real.
Yeah, so
I'm going Roman.
Roman?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick you right now.
I'm
going to go Roman.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Punk now.
So which one do you want?
I'm gonna go Roman. But
Roman.
I don't think it's gonna be
Okay.
Punk.
All right, so Roman with qualms. I was going to
think
say,
we've ever heard
That's
that.
my man, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and again, he's
Got
still
it.
going to be one of the favorites to win this thing, you know. And sometimes, again, the easy pick is the right one. It's also going to depend on where does he come
That's
in.
Crazy.
You know, and again, well, I mentioned him over there, but that was the extent of it. You know, but you look at it, but I mean, Roman's going to be one of the favorites, and likely is definitely going to be Final 4, if not Final 2, definitely. But we'll see. So 29 and Roman. Kia, which slot do you want?
I will take 1 through 10.
1 through 10. You want the beginning? Okay.
Actually, no. I'll take the middle part. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I want the middle. So
you want 11 through 20?
1 through 10. 11. No, the second one. The second one. Yeah.
You got to pick one.
I did. I picked the second one.
I want 1 through 20.
She picked one. Twice.
Actually, I want 1 through 30.
Right. Now
What do you mean there's a mystery 31st person?
What?
And it's The Rock.
The shock.
Okay. I will take 1 through 10 for real.
1 through 10. Okay. Ziggy, select a random number between 1 and 10.
Here's a number between 1 and 10. It's 3.
So you're gonna get 15. Okay, cool.
Well, at least I know at least no surprise as to what I'm going to end up with. The Alexa is not playing favors with us. So basically, you just got to remember which one of you two has 29 and 3 and
I
which
have 15
one.
and 29. You have 3 and 29, and then you will have 15. We're speaking it into existence. You will have 15.
Put it in the air.
So basically, well, no, I'll have 15 twice, I guess, because I have 3 in the first
15
one.
in the first one.
Either way, so 3 and who's your selection for the men's rumble? For the record, we know who our oldest is taking. He's taking John Cena. And his name is John Cena.
Because I said Austin Theory, and then I said Randy Orton, and now Alyssa has put it into the air for me to Jay.
I know. So hard.
Okay, so with all respects, and here's my pick. I'm picking my man Jay, because I feel like that's my other man. I don't care what y'all say. That's 5 or 6, but we're not keeping count. Quit. Main event Jay.
I don't have my second hand available.
It doesn't matter. Main event Jay. He's done all of everything that you've asked him to throughout the last couple of years. He's gone off on his own. He said he's his own man. He's even spoken into the air for Roman. I'll join you. I'll help you, but I'm still my own man. And when you have a brother that fine, a Samoan brother that fine, that comes in all white, I need to see that man in all white again. He knew what he was doing with that white and the shirtless and the pink. Do
we need a reminder of what he did last year when he came out for the Rumble? Because remember, the Usos started at 1 and 2 last year, and remember he went viral with the.
So I love Austin Theory. I love Grayson Waller. You know, Cody and Randy, but Jay.
So when the final 2 are Jay and John Cena, have fun with that.
Then I'll have to fight my oldest. I'm not against throwing hand with my oldest. I need some time. All
right, so 3 and Jay. So
yes.
All right. So my turn. So first, let me go ahead and get my number out of the way. So I've got 11 through 20 on this one. Ziggy, select a number between 11 and 20.
Here's a number between 11 and 20. It's 13.
So she changes it up one time. So I get lucky or unlucky 13, depending upon how you look at it. And I am going to state for the record that I hate you both. It is a genuine hate. Because damn if you didn't take my women's pick, and damn if you didn't take my men's pick. Because I was going to take Jey Uso.
Hold on.
And I had it lined up for... So, and again, I do want some discrepancy in here because there are so many other options here. To me, I feel like Cena will get his title shot, but I do think it's going to be later. I think it'll be later in the year. I don't think he's getting it right now. And there were a couple of other names, a couple of former winners like Randy Orton, The Rock, Shinsuke Nakamura, who was out there, possibly build up your next big name with maybe someone like a Braun Breaker or a Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight. There are a number of different names. But to me, there were 2 names I was entering into Atlanta with a pick on. One of them was Jey Uso, and the other one was the one that convinced me with his promo at the end of the night. So I am going to go with CM Punk. I do think that they've set it up. He was supposed to win last year. His tricep ultimately forced a change to where Cody ended up winning it unexpectedly. And I do think the storyline is built for him to either get that match with Cody or get that match with Gunther. Also, you know, Kevin and CM Punk could absolutely put on a good show. I do think there would be perhaps a little, you know, shenanigans along the way where maybe it twists into a triple threat, maybe Seth's involved or somebody like that. But I do feel like this has been lined up for CM Punk to be the one. And also, I mean, if you're going to give him 70 days to drop promos on all 3 shows, which he's already proven he'll attend them all.
Right.
This is going to be a fun road to WrestleMania. I'm going to take CM Punk.
Y'all like how we picked 3 out of the 5 members that was in that cage match that night?
Survivor.
Roman, Survivor. You know
War Games?
Yeah. Roman, Punk, and Jay.
Yep.
That should tell you all you need to know. And we know these men can go to war. We've seen Roman go to war multiple times, and he went to war again over his Ula Fala, because that was his.
And speaking of the Ula Fala, I mean, some other names that, you know, did not get picked ultimately. Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, you look at people like that absolutely could get pushed. Tama Tonga.
Ooh.
You know, I don't think Tama's going to be a favorite, but he could definitely have some fun in there, and especially if they all start working together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could lead to some fun, very Nexus-esque from Punk's going back a few years. But either way, that's our selections for Royal Rumble. Again, community page, the link is down at the bottom. You know, I've got a little work to do. In fact, we all do, because the OTRAs are currently ahead. But make sure you select your picks, and it goes live as soon as the matches end. As soon as the bell rings, not when the match ends. So either way, we're looking forward to a fun Rumble. We need to enjoy these Saturday ones, because it does look like with the announcement today that Clash in Paris, which is coming up in August, along with Hell in a Cell in July, it looks like they're going to start moving back to Sundays. So we do need to enjoy our Saturday events, of course, with the 2-night SummerSlams and WrestleManias being the exceptions to the rules. And supposedly there's a 2-night Rumble maybe starting next year. I don't know about that one, but
with all respects, I would honestly want to go back to Sundays, because you have to think we work Monday through Saturday, and so that would give us.
You want to be flying back on a Sunday?
No, I'm talking about like
if we're going, like if we're watching them at home, like
that's exactly it.
The joy of being a remote worker. I can work anywhere in the country. It's a joy.
And this is why I don't feel bad for my Cry Me a River comment. Alyssa tried to stop him, but I don't feel bad for that.
That's fine. Don't get me wrong. If Jay wins, I'm still going to be hooping and hollering through this. And like I said, maybe we'll do a watch along. But either way, ladies, wrap it up so we can start getting ready for the movie.
As always, I'm so excited for this one. I say that every single time. There's nothing new. Honestly, bravo to them putting together these Rumbles, though. Like, y'all had me over here stressed out, because I haven't sweated just from thinking about something for a minute, okay? And I'm an overthinker. So, yeah. But good job for them putting together everything and not making it predictable, because I know there's one thing that we've been saying a lot lately. Is a lot of the premium live events have been predictable. They said that's fine. Throw the curveballs out.
When the ladder match is probably the closest thing you're getting to predictable in this one.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
You know, Kia?
Sorry, y'all. I took a nap. I shouldn't be tired.
And yet she is.
I'm excited. I'm.
When do you choose for champion? Hashtag.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that Triple H has gone into this, and he's literally doing not just all his homework, but he's doing what needs to be done to make it to where everybody is invested and wants to watch. He's working with the crowd. He's working with the wrestlers, and to see just over the last couple of months to a year, what's going on. This Rumble is stacked, both men and women's, and then you have the ladder match, and then you have the tag team match. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm excited. Let's keep this adrenaline going, honestly. So
keep it in our soul.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Yeah.
And this is where we usually hit our last little comment. You know, we're going to end up watching one of the most exciting Rumbles that's ever going to happen. Shit, it's Brock, isn't it? It's going to be Brock.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
All right, Jack off.
Don't that Brock and Goldberg stuff.
We're not
even. Don't even breathe that in the air. We're not even.
Because I will talk shit.
We will find you.
But either way, we'll catch you guys on the flip side of things. But either way, we'll be enjoying the Rumble. Unfortunately, from this very couch. But we will enjoy it, and we look forward to seeing everyone here in the next coming weeks. Again, Ashante, thank you so much for the orange jersey, and also again, Mania Club for everything that you're doing. We prefaced it at the beginning. Let's keep up this fight, and let's make 2025 our best year yet.
There you go.
Woo woo.
All right, ladies, send us home.
Peace out. Let me go eat some popcorn. I'm hungry.